Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my usual weekly technical analysis outlook videos in which I will comment on what I think will happen to some FX crosses and equities. As always, before I begin, I want to clarify that this is not a solicitation or recommendation to enter into long or short positions in the names that I will mention in this video, nor do I have existing positions in them. This is not financial advice, and if you're using this content as a guide to trade, you are doing so at your own risk. Alright, let's start. These are the names that I have covered in past videos, and I will do a quick review on each of them. In the later section of this video, I will also begin covering these new names. I've put in timestamps, so please use them to skip to the names that interest you. I suggested on the 26th of April that Singapore dollar against the ringgit may be forming a head and shoulders top. Now let's examine the price action since then. It's been 3 weeks. Price action has since fallen below the Ichimoku cloud, and upside was rejected twice by the cloud resistance. These suggest a lack of upside strength and continue to favor the downside. Sing Ringgit has yet to close below the 3.2053, the neckline. If it does, on a weekly basis, then this head and shoulders top a bearish pattern will be complete, and Sing Ringgit will be considered technically bearish. I noted that Tesla may be forming a double bottom in the video on the 3rd of May. Completion took place on the 9th of May, and Tesla has since rallied, reaching a high of 351.63 on the 16th of May, which is about 77% of the textbook target at 368.65. Now I'm ready to seize coverage on Tesla, deeming this double bottom to be a success, but I will wait for a few more weeks just to see if this eventually reaches the textbook target. Moving on to new names that I'll be covering in future videos, there will be two in this video. First is on gold. I will start coverage on gold, but I'm a bit late on this. I believe that gold has completed a cup and handle top on the 14th of May via a breakdown below the support at 3,201.95. The textbook target of this bearish pattern is at 2,904.38, but watch out for supports that are at 3,142.5 as well as 2,957.25 that can bounce gold higher when tested. The next FX cross that I will be covering in future videos is on EURCHF. I suspect that it may be forming a cup and handle bottom, which is the opposite of what I showed you earlier in gold. Completion will be via a close above the neckline at 0.9447, and the textbook target is at 0.9675. There are 4 names that I will no longer be covering in future videos, starting off with Bitcoin. I was bearish on Bitcoin in a video on the 2nd of March due to the completion of a double top that has a textbook target at 70,526.3. Bitcoin fell to a low of 78,229.75, which is about 59% of the textbook target. Since then, Bitcoin has rallied. I will now cease coverage on Bitcoin because the double top is now at risk of invalidation. The next name that I will no longer be covering in future videos is the US 10-year government bond yield. I previously said that it should hit higher first due to overextension below the lower Bollinger, after which it should resume its decline to the textbook target of 3.446%. Price action indeed rebounded and was rejected, but then rallied again to close above the cloud. I think the bearish case is diminished, so it's better to cease coverage on this. I will no longer be covering Meta platforms in future videos. On 5th of April, I noted that Meta completed a head and shoulders top, a bearish pattern, which has a textbook target at 420.97. Meta fell to a low of 479.8, reaching 62.8% of its textbook target. Quite successful, but not really that successful. But Meta has since rallied and invalidated this bearish pattern after rising above the second shoulder. I will now cease coverage on Meta. Finally, I will cease coverage on Deere Co. The bearish potential resulting from a head and shoulders top was eliminated after price action rose above 472.78. I will no longer be covering Deere Co in future videos. That's the end of my sharing. I will give updates to these crosses and names only when there are meaningful development, and in the next video, it will highly likely be on new crosses and new names. If you like what I'm doing, please help me out by giving me a like, please subscribe and hit the notification button for more videos like this.